This is Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. In the past, this track used to rise and fall across a terrifying 9 miles through the Ardennes forest. These days, it's condensed to 4.5 miles, which incidentally still makes it the longest track we visit, and it's no less exciting for the drivers.
Racing in Spa is such a great circuit.
Definitely a special atmosphere, but I mean, you can come here pretty much any time of the year, and it just feels like there's a little bit of extra something here.
It depends on how far back you start. You know? I think from P6 to P7 you can still win it.
It's time for the first race here at Spa, and the beady-eyed amongst you will notice two things. Number one, it's a massive grid. Number two, it's incredibly sunny. In fact, it's extremely hot, over 30 degrees here, which means the track is going to be very warm and the tyres are going to be hot, so it should be nice and fast. Now, as for the front three, I'm delighted to say they're all from the British Formula 3 series, and let's take a look. In third place, we've got Alex Lynn. Then in second, looking to really get back into the championship here, it's Carlos Sainz Jr. And at the front, the man who's really starting to make a name for himself, particularly in the last few races, it's Felix Sorales.
Round 18 of the Coupe British Formula 3 International Series. An inspirational pole for Felix Sorales ahead of all the British and European rivals. Carlos Sainz Jr. outside front row from Alex Lynn. Good start from the two Fortec men. Three Fortec men on the right-hand side of the grid. Ooh, Lynn on the grass up to La Source. That's not a great start, but he's inside Sorales. It's Carlos Sainz with the lead. 3 wide behind. Hannes van Asseldonk goes very wide on the left-hand side. And with Jazeman Jafar, Van Asseldonk's just come back on the left. On the right-hand side, that's Alex Lynn. Ooh, we're going inside him and Daniel Juncadella. No, not two of them there into Eau Rouge. Dusty offline. Dirt gets kicked up by Van Asseldonk. It's Sainz that leads them up the Kemmel Straight. On board now in 7th place with Jack Harvey. And right in front, you can see Alex Lynn. It is Sainz that leads. Felix Sorales, car number 1, pulls out wide. Daniel Juncadella up to 3rd on the straight, and it looked as though Jafar was trying for 4th to get by Van Asseldonk. Everybody jockeying for position. These 2-litre single-seaters give away a big tow with Spike Goddard in the national class. And in the middle of a massive field of cars battling in perfect conditions here at Spa. Spike Goddard 3rd in the national class, newcomer Pedro Pablo Calbimonte in front of him, and the black and blue car just ahead, that is our national class leader, Dubashen Padiachi. And look at this for a view, sweeping down into Pouhon, flat out almost in top gear. Oh, drifting out wide onto the dirt. It's very dirty out there. First of all, the AstroTurf flings you off, then you get the dirt on your tyres. Red and yellow car there was Adley Fong, pushing him down to 4th in the national class, as it is still Carlos Sainz that leads. They're sweeping down this modern part of the Spa Grand Prix circuit. It starts and finishes on the old public roads. You can see that in the background as they start to climb from the lowest part of the track. The old public road circuit comes in on the left-hand side. Now they're treading on the same tarmac that's been used by stars since the 1960s. Absolutely flat out here. It's a combination of very high-speed corners that demand grip and long straights that demand minimum wing, and then into the bus stop where everybody scrabbles for grip. Good view from Carlos Sainz, and a clear track in front of him, past the pit lane. Checking the mirrors for Felix Sorales, still there in 2nd. Daniel Juncadella in 3rd on board with our national class leader. And Pedro Calbimonte gets it wrong under braking. Through goes Dubashen Padiachi. Now he takes the lead. Oh, and who's that? Spike Goddard creeping around the outside as well as they rush past the pits and into the braking area for La Source. Oh dear! That was 2 cars. There was only 2 wheels on the ground with each car, wasn't there? The front of Goddard's and the rears of Calbimonte's. Battles all the way down the Order Svenmüller there, heading up the hill on the European Championship runners. And here comes the challenge for the lead. Around the outside, Felix Sorales takes it from Sainz, locks up. Can he keep it on the island? Yes, he does. He is in front. Meanwhile, in our national class battle, Spike Goddard, who was in front, going down out of La Source, now has Calbimonte coming around the outside into Les Combes about a mile and a half later, and through he goes. And third in this queue now, Adeli Fong at the back. Dubashan Padiachi, the national class leader, has already gone. And down the inside comes Goddard into Rivage. Immediately counter-attacking. And these three racing hard wheel to wheel. And that is allowing Padiachi to pull away. Jack Harvey, car number one, racing wheel to wheel now with championship rival Jazeman Jaafar. Jazeman led the points going into the Norris ring. Harvey leading coming here from Jazeman. And if they finish as they are, that will revert to the Malaysians' favour. Harvey, though, perfectly placed. Last lap, last gasp up the Kemmel Straight. These engines do gasp, revving right to the maximum. Uses the slipstream to go by up into third in the British Championship standings in this race. Fourth in the points for Jazeman Jaafar, and Michael Lewis tries to go around him but can't. So Jaafar doing well to get the door shut after defending a fraction too long there. From Jack Harvey in contact further back, Sven Muller 97, and that is Pascal Verlaine 86. Just touching, both got away with that, but only just. National class battle for third, Adeli Fong. This is, well, the umpteenth time they've been wheel to wheel through Eau Rouge. Adeli Fong hanging on there. Calbimonte starting breathing again now, I imagine, as he comes up the Kemmel Straight, just checking his mirrors to see who's there. And predictably, of course, Spike Goddard streams by him. Well, Adeli Fong back up to second in the national class battle behind Dubashan Padiachi. But I'm not sure that's going to be the way it finishes. With Jazeman Jaafar, Jack Harvey a long way in front now as they climb up towards the bus stop for the final time. Leader comes out of the last corner. It is going to be victory number 4 of the season for Felix Sorales, the Fortec team. Pole, fastest lap and the win for him. Dubashan Padiachi on target to win the national class as everybody else races for the stripe. Second of the British runners, Carlos Sainz. Third, Jack Harvey. Well, a comfortable victory in the national class for Dubashan Padiachi. Jack Harvey third on the British podium behind Carlos Sainz, and our race winner, Felix Sorales.
I didn't expect that we would have so much grip in the rear in the start, but I was able to keep P2 into the first corner, and I wasn't very worried about it because it's all about the slipstream here. So up to the third lap, I was able to pass Sainz and pull away pretty much.
Harvey still leads, but there is a change. Felix Sorales now second in the British Formula 3 Championship points, and it looks as though there is a change in the weather. Forecast for race 2, not good.
Well, what a difference a couple of hours makes. As you saw, race 1, we had glorious sunshine and incredibly warm temperatures. Now the heavens really have opened and they have gone for it on the track. We have so much rain across this mighty course that actually race 2 has now been cancelled. The drivers were ready, willing and able, but there's just too much water on the track and it has been deemed unsafe. However, they can have a good rest, and the big one is tomorrow. Well, as you can see, Belgium is still treating us to the joys of rain, but the good news is this isn't the sort of rain that will stop the action. In fact, this is one big race for us because, largely down to this man here, Mr. Felix Sorales, he's only 1 point off the championship lead. And of course, the leader is Jack Harvey. He's back in 7th, which means he's 5th for the British series. So, if Felix can hold on, he could be the championship leader by the end of this race.
On your left-hand side, Felix Sorales, the pole sitter. On the right-hand side, Carlos Sainz on the outside, the front row. Good start from both men. Everybody wheel spinning. Daniel Juncadella. Sorales moves across to block the light blue and white car. And as round 20 of the Cooper Tyres British Formula 3 International Series does get underway, It is Felix Morales, our pole man, who leads them down the hill. The only man with good vision, and Carlos Sainz immediately showing that. Down there somewhere is Eau Rouge. First lap, coldish tyres. Morales with a big slide halfway through. And that's got to be a heart-in-the-mouth moment. That's why Spa is still such an awesome track. Jack Harvey, the championship leader by 1 point coming in here. 7th on the grid, 7th on the road. Morales leads. Harvey creeping alongside Alex Lynn. Lynn lost ground away from the grid. And Jack Harvey trying to go around the outside. That's Jasmine Jafar right in front, predictably enough. They spent a lot of time in each other's company here. John Cadella third, Tom Blomqvist in fourth, ahead of the turquoise and blue Petronas development driver. That's Jasmine Jafar in fifth place, red, white and blue Harvey in sixth. Everybody else in seventh, which is Alex Lynn, Hannes van Asseldonk, Michael Lewis and Pipo Derani. On board with Jack Harvey then. Well, considerably drier than race 2. It's definitely been officially upgraded from absolutely appalling to just quite dreadful here at Spa. Very wet indeed though. Parts of the track will be quite grippy, parts will be awful. Jafar there goes very wide, Harvey cuts very tight, both of them avoiding the main part of the racing line, which is where the rubber and the oil are from the other cars. You want to avoid that, and it is still raining on the pit straight. On board with Carlos Sainz. This is the battle for the lead then. Felix Morales, the young Puerto Rican driver, our race 1 winner, and Carlos Sainz, who has not won since May in the streets of Pau. Well, both of them skitter into the bus stop chicane, almost pedestrian pace through there. Your road car could do that as competently as these racing cars, because they are not meant to work at that speed. Their average speed around here in the dry conditions, over 120 miles an hour, 150 kilometers an hour. And in these conditions, they'll be doing much the same speed in a straight line. They just won't be able to see where they're going. And still Morales with the lead. Sainz staying out of that ball of spray, and now he'll move right a little to see the corner and line himself up for Eau Rouge. He's one of the most intimidating wet weather corners, just snicks it down into fifth, drills the throttle all the way through, and he's got a good run here on Morales. Here's the challenge for the lead. Morales passed him in race 1 from this position around the outside. This time Morales goes to driver's left, allows the inside line for Sainz. You can take it if you like. Sainz doesn't care. It's just as grippy there as... And that's Sven Muller very heavily into the barriers at Eau Rouge. Well, he's moving his legs. That would have been a big impact. He'll have been jarred in both feet by the pedals as he stopped in a very short distance. Safety car is out. And that's to allow the medical crews to go to him, just to double check he's okay. It is raining really hard now, and that means all tyre temperature will vanish. Sainz leads. Blomqvist, Morales, Jafar, Harvey, Lewis, and the rest will all form up behind. Oof, I tell you what, it's half look winded. Well, let's ride with Sven Muller, must we? Ooh. Here we go, into Eau Rouge. Very, very wet indeed. Oh my goodness, standing water. That's not a fun passenger ride, but he is okay. It is really teeming down now here. We've got 3 laps to go at Spa. Massive crowd all huddled and trying to stay warm as Sainz leads away once more. And the field stretched out around, well, perhaps not a third of the circuit, but a long way behind. Look. On board now with Jack Harvey at La Source. Through goes Michael Lewis. Now, Lewis goes out very wide indeed. That gives him a slingshot down the straight here. Harvey, oh, goodness me, that was close. Did Lewis know how close Harvey was? That could have been disastrous. And look at the speed they carry into Eau Rouge, still in awful, awful conditions. Well, Carlos Sainz Jr. leading from Tom Blomqvist. Third place still Felix Morales. Then Jasmine Jafar ahead of the battle we were just watching with Lewis and Harvey. There is Blomqvist. There is Morales, who will take the championship lead if he finishes second. Fourth place there, or second in British Championship points. Fourth place on the road for Jasmine Jafar. And it is just getting vile once more. Not the inshore powerboating of race 2, but still, really? Did they want to restart in these conditions? I'm not sure that anybody did. El Matador Carlos Sainz watches on the last lap as his son, who has not won a race since May, heads up the hill for the final time. He's safely through sector 1, safely through sector 2. He's got no pictures, he's only got the timing screen, Carlos, so he won't know if he's gone off until he doesn't come through the final sector. But at the moment he is on target for victory once more. And Carlos Sainz Jr. now stops the rot and returns to his winning ways. Into the bus stop for the final time, and out he comes. He is the first man to see the checkered flag, and it's been a while since we've said that. Victory for Sainz, second for Tom Blomqvist, his best European Formula 3 result, and the second British Championship runner, Felix Sorales, as Sainz has a bit of a wiggle and a weave. He is clearly happy, so too his dad and his team boss. National class victory going to Adderley Fong, the wet weather master here. Jafar on the podium in third, Sorales in second, but our race winner, Carlos Sainz.
Congratulations, Carlos. That's more like it.
Yeah, that's how we like it, how I like it. We're lucky that the rain arrived. In dry conditions it would have been a bit more difficult, but as we know, we have a really good car in rain, and I feel really comfortable in these conditions, so we put it all together and here we are now.
Well, in the National Class Championship, Spike Goddard's still the leader, but the gap has shrunk. Top 3 covered in the overall championship by 10 points, coming in by 8 leading, as Sorales has the advantage.